In this lesson, we'll be looking at three-point perspective, and we'll start with the basics. We'll begin with a bird's eye view. Basically what this means is we're going to draw our objects from a high vantage point. We will need 3 vanishing points in total. You can see by this drawing that my horizon line is at the top of the page. On the left I have a vanishing point 1, on the right a vanishing point 2, and at the bottom of the page I'm going to put a vanishing point 3. Three-point perspective is very similar to two-point perspective, with the exception that the vertical lines go to vanishing point 3. All of the diagonal lines will continue to converge to vanishing point 1 and vanishing point 2. And remember that all of the vertical lines go to one single vanishing point, which is vanishing point 3. All the other lines will go to either vanishing point 1 or 2. Once I've plotted out the basic shape, I'll go back in and verify. Drawing in three-point perspective offers a lot of visual interest, and you see it a lot in comic books. It's a way to create some really interesting drawings from different vantage points. Alright, let's look at some examples by expanding the basics. Here you can see a line drawing on the left, in a bird's eye view with three-point perspective, and on the right, I've shaded it to add visual interest and to give the object some dimension. This drawing may seem a little more advanced, but it's really just basic shapes on top of each other. Just remember that all the vertical lines go to vanishing point 3, all the others to vanishing point 1 and 2. Now I'm showing you a time-lapse video of a three-point perspective cityscape. I'm outlining basic shapes like I did in the first example, but I'm adding more details like windows, moldings, and roof lines. I'm sketching in basic shading to give the drawing dimension, form, and visual interest. And I'm also casting shadows. This entire drawing is done with just 3 points, 1 at the bottom and 2 on the horizon line. Here's another example of a three-point perspective in the bird's eye view. This was done on blue construction paper using colored pencils. Now let's switch up the vantage point, and we'll do this exercise in a worm's eye view. In other words, we'll be looking up at the object. This time the horizon line is lower on the page. We still have a vanishing point on the left, a vanishing point on the right. And now we'll add a third vanishing point on top of the page. All the vertical lines will go to vanishing point 3, while the other lines will go to vanishing point 1 and 2. Here I'll establish the height of this object, and I'll draw lines to vanishing point 1 and 2. I'll establish the width of the object by going to vanishing point 3, and same on the other side. After I've plotted in the shape of the object, I'll go back in and verify. Here I've just expanded the basics. On the left, you can see a line drawing, and on the right, a shaded version to give it form, dimension, and visual interest. Here's another example, but this one's done on black construction paper with colored pencils. It's a low vantage point, a worm's eye view, looking out. Your creative exercise this week is to draw and shade a 3-point perspective in either a bird's eye view or a worm's eye view. I will add some examples for inspiration in Blackboard.